Hey everyone, this is Alicia Hot 1996. Today, it's like really early in the morning, like 2:47 a.m. Well, that's not that early. Well, at least not to me. Maybe to other people, but not to me. But yeah, it's really dark in here, and my sister's sleeping in the other room, so I can't really be too loud. Which in my other video that was random, I kind of said the same thing, but it's the truth. She's in there sleeping, so I can't really be too loud. Um, Today, this is gonna be another random video. I told you guys that I was gonna do like other planned videos, but I'll get around to those, I promise. But right now this is gonna be a random video. And I want to start with like fanfiction.net. Now, I'm a new writer, so I'm not, this video isn't gonna really be advice or anything, you know, because I've been watching videos online about people giving advice for fanfiction and new writers and all that other stuff, but this isn't gonna be it since I'm new and I don't really have any room to talk right now. Maybe in a near future I will, but right now I don't. But I do read a lot of fanfiction, a lot. I mean, before I became a writer, I read so much. I practically read like every single day, and yeah, and there were some good and some bad, but I mean, I don't think I ever really left a really rude review. I mean, it's not like I was never really big on reviewing, which is not good because like now since I'm starting to write, I want people to review, and now I know how it feels when the people don't. I'm just like, oh my god, you know, if you're gonna read it, at least you do at least a review, even if it sucks. And I'm just like, oh my god. But I have to admit, I wasn't really big on review now, but I promise you that if I read your story, I will review since I know how it feels, and yeah. But anyways, I wasn't really big on it, but when I actually did review, I never really left a rude review, because I understand that, like when I was watching these videos online, I listened to what they had to say with the rants, because a lot of people were making rants for fanfiction, because I guess they got fed up with it and decided to tell people what they hate. And you know, since I'm new at this, I don't really have room to talk, but I would like to say this, even though I'm new at it, I have read a lot. I mean, a lot, like over the years. And with that being said, so I think I have at least an inch to be able to say what I have to say next. Um, I understand your points and your feelings and your opinions. I know everybody's got them, but I mean, even if the fan fiction sucks, people do take time to write it. Like, I'm pretty busy right now, but I take time to write my fan fiction. I heard, I'm not gonna give a name, but I heard somebody say in one of the rant videos, like, people that practically that the ones that suck don't take any time to write it. Like, don't take any time to actually think of a plot, and that's not true, and sometimes it might not be good, but people actually do consider what they're writing. And don't get me wrong, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just a get in and get out kind of thing. And yeah, sometimes it actually does turn out pretty good, even with that being said. But there are times when it isn't that good, but people do, take time to write it. And even if they don't, I can understand your opinion and what you want to say, but I know this person that actually wrote a really good fan fiction, and I'm not gonna give her name out, and like somebody said like never write again. And that was like really rude. I mean, I can understand her opinion, but to say that, I mean, God. And let me tell you about this girl. I'm not gonna give her name out, but after they said that, she rewrote her thing, which was bullshit because her story was really good the first time. I'm not saying it sucked the second time around when she rewrote it, but I loved it the first time around. And know that she rewrote it, and I didn't get a chapter 4 because she was like on chapter 3, and she rewrote it and only wrote like one chapter for the rewrite thing. And I was waiting for chapter 4 to come out, and because of what people said, she stopped writing for that certain story and like rewrote the thing, and she only left one chapter, and like after that I haven't heard from her since, like because of what, I don't know if it's because of what you guys said or she's just really busy, but still. And I actually really liked her story, and for what you guys said, it was just so rude. I mean, I can understand her opinion, but there's a difference between opinion and just being an asshole, you know? This is fan fiction. People are allowed to be creative. People are allowed to say what they want. I mean, a lot of people say that if it's like so much out of character that it sucks, you know. But that's why they say when they're writing their description of it, it's AU. AU isn't supposed to stand for this is going to be completely original. I mean, not completely original, completely exact same thing as the thing that you read or the movie or whatever you're writing for. No, AU is supposed to be for something that's like, well, I don't really know the definition of it, but practically different than what that is. I mean, similar characters might be very similar to the actual thing, but it's different nevertheless. And you can look up a definition for that since I'm probably not giving a good one. But the point is, you know, an AU isn't supposed to be like practically the exact same thing you just read. No, it isn't. It's supposed to be different. And even if it's not an AU, it's still not going to be the exact same thing that you just read. It's not meant to be original. That's why it's called fan fiction, you know, not original. You know, it's supposed to be what someone that didn't write the original story or the original movie to come online and write their like story of what they wish would have happened in the movie or in the anime. Like I go on there and I write, even though I'm new, I go on there and I write what I wish could have happened in the anime, and because it didn't. And most of the time when I like to write what I wish could have been in it. Like, there's an anime out there, I'm not going to give a name, there's an anime out there that I wish could have a third season, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. And I really loved it, and I really wish that they would make a third season because it was really good, and I write what I wish could have happened in it, and because it didn't. And it might be, it's actually not that much out of character. I mean, I don't even think I named it an AU because it's actually very similar to the actual thing, but it's different nevertheless. But anyways, I write what I wish could have happened in it, you know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of people do, maybe a lot of people just don't, I don't really know, but I write what I wish could have happened in it. And so that's why, you know, it's called fan fiction. You know, you write what you wish could have happened or what you think might have happened if they wrote it different or something, you know. It's your opinion, you know. It's what you wish, you know, it's what you wish to write, you know. I know I'm kind of ranting. This could be a rant, you know. So yeah, when I label this, I'm gonna label it fanfiction rant. You know, I'm not ranting on the people that write it. I'm ranting on the people that rant. You know, because I'm with the authors. I'm not with the ranting people, which I'm not gonna cuss them out, but I'm not with them on that. You know, I mean, this could be considered similar, but not really. You know, I just want to give a shout out to all the authors that, you know, go on there and write, you know, because I believe that, you know, it's fan fiction, people. Come on. You know, it's not meant to be the best damn story you ever wrote, or you ever read in your entire damn life. It's not supposed to go. It's not like some idiot's gonna, some $1 million company's gonna go and read your fan fiction and then make it like a movie, you know, because it's already a movie. It's already a book, you know. And I'm not saying that it's not going to, but you know, it's already a book and a movie, so more likely not. But anyways, you know, it's meant to be, you know, fun. It's not meant to be like, oh my god, I'm writing this, but what if I write shitty and you guys go in there and hate it, you know, like when I'm writing sometimes, like after watching those rants and shit, I'm on there like, oh my god, what, I'm all stressed out and all scared about writing, and I don't really I'm like, I have this plan, but I'm so afraid to write it down because I'm so afraid to hear what you guys have to say. And I'm just like, I'm thinking, you know what's wrong with me? Why should I be afraid, you know? Because fan fiction, when I first got on the account before I started watching you guys' damn rants, I was so happy and enjoying what writing fan fiction because it was so much fun. It was so much fun to write something down. It was so much fun to post it for the first time. You know, like, you know when you do something for the first time and it's just like, oh my god, this was so brilliant. I'm gonna remember this. I have to go take pictures. To me, that's what it was like. Even though it was only fan fiction, to me, that's what it was like. It was like this big, huge thing, and when I first wrote it down, and I first typed it, I felt so amazed that I actually wrote a story, even if it wasn't complete, and I put it up there. And I was so amazed, and I remember, like, the first person I ever talked to on fanfiction.com, and she's actually a really good friend of mine, and, also remember my first review, and I just felt so great because it was so much fun to read, and it's so much fun to hear back from people and reviews, and it just this rush that just so amazing that I can't even. I know I'm going all nuts with it, but that's how it feels when you write and you post, and it's just so well, and it's just a really good feeling, especially when you get reviews. I mean, it's a really, really good feeling, and if you post it, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. And even if it's just fan fiction, it's just a really, really good feeling, and it's fun to write. But after reading, or not reading, watching what you guys have to say, it's just like nerve-wracking now. It's just like, oh my god. And I think a lot of people that have really great ideas like backed off from them because they're so worried about what you're gonna have to say. No, fan fiction is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be like this really great thing that you did and accomplishment. I think I said that right. It's supposed to be. And don't get me wrong, I know it's supposed to be you're writing a story for everyone to read, and you don't want them to write something shitty. I completely understand that. Completely understand. I mean, it's not like you're going on there to bullshit. You're going on there to write a story, and I completely understand your point to a certain extent that, it can't just all be fun and games. People are actually taking the time to read your story. You should at least write something good, and I completely understand that. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand that. But I also understand that, it's supposed to be really creative and it's supposed to be your story. And when somebody bashes on it, it's just not right. I can understand an opinion, but like I said before, there's a difference between an opinion and just being a bitch. And some of the rants that I'm not going to give any names to are just assholes. And it was just not cool and not good and just messed up in so many ways. Um, you know, it's it, it's supposed to be fun, but it's also supposed to be a little serious. If you're gonna write, I'm on your side on this part. If you're gonna go write, try to think about what you're gonna write and try to, give a good plot. Don't go on there and bullshit. I completely understand that. They should write something that's good if they're gonna write. But at the same time, I also understand that it's their story, not yours. So with that being said, if I had a piece of paper, I would underline that, not yours, theirs. You know, if that's what they want to write, then that's what they want to write, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So shut your trap and let them write. You know, sometimes a rush story actually turns out to be good. So shut your mouth. I mean, you can't tell them to actually sit down and plan this damn thing for like 40 ass hours. And then, because sometimes even if they do, it turns out to be shitty. And there's are some times when they take like 5 minutes, actually turns out to be good. So, I mean, you can't say for 100% fact that taking the time is actually gonna turn out good when sometimes it doesn't. And, you can't say that if you rush it, it's going to be shitty, because sometimes actually people rush it and it's actually good. When I wrote my story, and I'm not going to say I'm the best, I wrote my story and I took like maybe like 30 minutes on it, and actually it was like 1,000 some odd words, and actually turned out to be pretty damn good. I mean, it's up there and it's in chapters. I'm not going to give my name away, but it actually turned out to be good. I actually got good reviews. I didn't take my damn time on it. So, I mean, you can't say that's the case when it's definitely not. There's actually authors go on there to be free, to write what they want to write, and not have to worry about you guys coming around and saying that they suck. And then, they stop writing. They that fun and exciting thing that they did, just got taken away from them because of you. I mean, it's just messed up, completely messed up. If they want to write, then let them write. How would you feel if somebody came on there and practically told you suck? Like, I mean, I sat down and read your story and I felt like I was gonna die. I mean, how would you feel if somebody said that to you? I mean, you would just be like, what? I mean, Did I ever go on there and review your story with such bad, words? I mean, there's a difference between an opinion and just being an ass. Sorry, my computer shut off. I have to turn it back on. Does that a lot. But yeah, there's a difference between all that. I mean, if you have a review, and even if the story didn't turn out the way you think it should have, you don't have to leave such a mean review. You can be helpful and give criticism at the same time. Like when I first wrote this story, and this person came on here. It's like, you're a new writer, and I want to give you tips and all this other stuff. And I was really grateful for it, like how, they, instead of saying leaving a bad, shitty review, they actually wanted to help. I mean, you can give criticism, but also be helpful at the same time, because if you were new, wouldn't you want someone to help you instead of saying, don't ever write again? I mean, nobody ever actually told me that, but the girl I was talking about before, they said it to her, and that's why I'm mentioning her, and I don't know if she's ever gonna write again. I don't even know if she's ever gonna post a story again, but I actually liked her writing, and it really disappoints me knowing that she didn't put up a chapter 4, and she didn't. I don't even know if she's gonna consider writing because of what you guys said, and it was just so messed up. I mean, you guys don't understand how mean you can get and how wrong it is, It's fan fiction, people. Fan, okay? FAN. Remember that. It's not like the actual original writer went up there and wrote a fan fiction. No. It's people, original people that just sat down at the computer and wanted to write something. Wanted to let you know what they think. Wanted to let you know what they wish was in the damn anime or whatever. So, I mean, think about it before you say something, because it's, oh my god, I could go on forever and bitch at you people. Bitch, I mean, like, seriously, how rude and nasty you can get. I mean, it's like Facebook all over again. I mean, I don't have a Facebook account for a lot of reasons, but that could be one of them. But my brother does and my sister does, and some of the drama on there. I mean, this isn't Facebook, people. This is fan fiction. I mean, fan fiction is supposed to be, exciting and fun, and you're supposed to maybe PM or IM or whatever people. PM, actually, it's called PM. Hold on, let me look at my fan fiction thing. Hold on. Yeah, it's called PM. Private messaging or whatnot, and you're supposed to, talk to people and maybe thank them for the review or whatever. But, it's not supposed to be full of drama. It's just supposed to be like, you want to see what other people think, other people wish that was in the actual anime, and you want to read it, and you're just like, oh my god. When when you read one of those stories, like, oh my god, that should have been in there. Like, I know my all-time favorite writer on this fanfiction, and again, I'm not going to give a name, but she wrote this goddamn good story, and it's not complete yet, but it was so good that it felt like it should have been in the anime. It was just so brilliant that it should have been in the anime, and when you read those things, you just feel so good after reading them. And the thought of her ever getting a bad review, that would make me sick, because she is such a good writer, and I'm not the only person that thinks that. She got like, I don't know, probably like maybe 700 something reviews, and like, I don't think any of them says that she sucks, like, because I think all of them probably say keep updating, keep updating, keep updating, and that's like close to 1,000 reviews, and none of them say don't update again. All of them say keep updating, because it's just so damn good. And so she doesn't really count in what you guys say, but still, I thought I would mention her because she's just so good. And the thought of you guys ever seeing anything like that, if I were you, if I knew who you were, I'd jump out of my computer and slap you in the face. There's no way you could hate her because she's so good. And you guys, I just want to ask you to please, think before you say, think, because again, fan fiction. Let people be creative. Let people say what they want to say. Let people write what they want to write. And don't get me wrong, I can understand when you say, oh my god, that sucks, because I read some shit and I'm like, oh my god, that sucks too. But, and I can understand when you say that, when it does, but, maybe you could give some advice, how to make that story better. Or maybe try to help them in some way instead of, being really rude about it, because maybe they had a good idea. Maybe they wrote something really good, but it didn't turn out so good on paper. Like, sometimes I have these really good ideas in my head, but sometimes I can't write them so well on paper. Some people have that problem. Like, they can think of something in their head, but they don't write it as well as they did in their, how as well as they thought in their head. And sometimes it's actually good. So instead of, jumping to the bone, maybe you should ask them what their plot was, what their plan for the story was, and maybe tell them, they should turn it around a little bit. Maybe they should make it sound better, and then people might actually like it. Instead of being real rude about it. Maybe help. People aren't gonna become really damn good writers by you like practically jumping down their throat, telling them that they're horrible. People that doesn't help people get better. That just makes them feel like shit. And I mean, how would you feel if you were on the other side? You have to understand that. You have to think about that. Before you jump down their throat. Well, anyways, this is my fan fiction rant, and I could say so much more and keep going, but I don't know how much longer my battery is gonna last. So on my computer camera. So that's all I got to say for right now. But to think about what I said, and please try to remember and try to understand what I'm trying to get at, because I don't know if I said what I wanted to say right, because I'm all over the place right now. But just try to take my words and listen to them slowly and try to understand what I mean. And I hope you guys all have a good morning or sleep or whatever.